Welcome back to a very basic space program. Last time we launched all the craft. We launched all the craft to Mercury and set them on their way. Some of them were better than others. Some of them might capture. Some of them are going to be flybys. I just need to check. Have we actually accepted the mission? Where's the Mercury flyby? Mercury orbit. That's the one we've taken. Yeah. So Mercury orbit, uncrewed, destination, done. Got a lot of money for that if we can get an orbit of that. So we've got that on the burner, as it were. And I think we're probably going to get through that this episode because we've got some other craft building, and they're going to take quite a while. So, yeah, if you want to see us arrive at Mercury, possibly try and capture into orbit, see what happens, please join me. You will notice that we are down to 2 million funds in the bank. That is because, well, we've got a lot of craft lined up, actually. We've done a lot of development building, all that sort of stuff. We've got the Conistons. I should really do something with those at some point. We've got this satellite one. We can leave that. It's fine. We have a Leela 3. I need to do something with that. That's a change to our development of the lunar lander thing. So I might do that. We might. Oh, there's one up there as well. We might move it up the rankings, see how that goes. See what's going on with it. Oh, that's interesting. They're actually different. May have to have a look at that. Anyway, we've got that. We have these that are building. So these Pathfinders are going to go off to try and orbit 2 of the moons of Jupiter. I'm not sure whether we'll manage to do it or not. And then we've got TL1, which is hopefully going to go to Titan and may drop a lander there. That's going to be ready in 90 days. But we've got a window for Saturn. Saturn's in 192 days. We do have a Mercury window, which is a bit of a better one in about a year. So if we need to, if these don't work, we can go with that. But I think we're going to run forward about 100 days now to the arrival of our craft at Mercury. And let's see what happens. Right, it is the 3rd of September 1978. Wow, this series has been going on for a long time already, hasn't it? And we're arriving at Mercury. So let's jump to our first craft, which is the Pathfinder. Which, interestingly, the Pathfinder has arrived first. We have Metal 2 arriving in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So let's get some stuff done. Here we are with Pathfinder, and yeah, you can see the sun there. You can see Mercury on the right-hand side. It's quite large. We're a lot closer than I thought we were going to be. So let's have a look. Let's see. So we've got about 2.5 hours until the arrival of the next vessel. We have a big chunk of Delta V here, but I don't want to waste it. So let's see. Where are we? We're about to enter the sphere of influence. So let's come on, Mercury. Let me do that thing that I do, where we just do that and then we go like that and we're going to focus view it. Right, so how close are we getting? We are getting within 25 kilometers of the surface. That's good. How much Delta V are we going to have to put in to capture this thing? That's the question, isn't it? So we're going to pull it back and we're looking at, it'd be really nice if it was less than that tank. Wow. So that is not much at all. I was expecting more, actually. That's really good. So that's it's going to be a 6-minute burn on that stage, most of it. We're gonna have about 900 left. How much is it going to take us roughly to get down to the bottom? That's going to be okay. So we can decide how we want to put this into what we want to do with it once we're actually down there. So let's put that back to where it was. We want to just capture, don't we? We don't want to go too far. Now the next question is, where's the ascending and descending node? Because that could be problematic, couldn't it? Unless we go polar. I mean, if we go polar, we can get all the biome data over time. That would be one thing that we could do. So let's just pull it in like there. There we go. So that's the capture. Right. That is going to be, let's add that to the marker. That's going to be just after that's arrived, I think. Give me 10 minutes of warning on that. Yeah, there we go. So that's going to be shortly. We're going to let this transition into the sphere of influence first. You can see we're coming into there and it's going to be there. So it's going to be 11 minutes. So we're just going to move that forward. You get it into the sphere of influence, it can start doing its science stuff. Let's just check what it's got going on, actually. Data. Here we go. Auto. There we are. Right. We are now in the sphere of influence. That's good. So let's just turn everything on. See what we've got. have we got stuff? So we've got unmet requirements. That's orbital perturbation because I think it's inclination, isn't it? That we've already got 2 of them. That mass spec. I don't want to stop it. I want to run it. Oh, image spectroscopy is shrouded. Ah, now is that because we've buried it? Oh, it's a design flaw. What's that one? What is that one there? What are you? You're a solar wind thing. So where is the image spectroscopy? There, isn't it? Oh, when we've... No, that's the engine. Where are you? That's the orbital perturbation. That's the spectroscopic boom. Where is the image? Right, where are you? Let's have a look. Image spectroscopy. No, that one. Where are you? That one there. I'm gonna fix it. Put the camera on orbit. Nope. Chase mode. That's what I want. Right. Nope, that's not the right one. Locked. That's better. Right. Where is that there? There we go. The ultraviolet image spectra. Yeah. Right, it's too far down. It's in. Oh, that's annoying. We've come all this way and we've buried it too deep. So what it actually needed was to be moved up, wasn't it? It's actually buried deep in there. I wonder if in the future if we just stick it on the end of there. That'll work, won't it? Or even at the back of the engine or something. I don't know. It's just a very small craft with a large dish on is the problem, isn't it? Right. So let's think. That's going to be gathering stuff. What's our electricity like? Is it actually going down? We are holding charge. That is superb. So we're not going to have the problems with this that we've had previously, which is the whole craft basically it runs out of electricity. That's superb. What we're doing for data wise, we're going to have quite a chunk of data, I'm guessing, are we? We've got a decent upload speed, have we? What's our upload? 9.3 gigabits per second. That's actually probably one of our fastest transfer data speeds for an interplanetary craft. So the tech improvement is working. You can see we are building, we're increasing data. What if I do that? Get rid of that? Will that go? Okay. And that's just going to go up. And then if I stop that, stop that. There you go. It is interesting. It chooses certain things. All right, so those are going to run. We've got that marker in there for capture, and once we've captured, we can do whatever we want with the thing. Really, we could have changed our approach to try and get a thing on the equator here. I think this is pretty equatorial actually, but I can't tell. Where's our actually? You know what? Will it tell me? Will it tell me here? Inclination is only 7.3. So if we're going to put something into an equatorial orbit, this is the one to do it, really, isn't it? And actually, yeah, I think it probably just needs to be leveled out. Right, so there's that one. Let's go and have a look at metal 2. Yeah, that's going to leave. That's not going to leave, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's go and check metal 2 out. So there we are. You can see it's got the big, basically it's the Apollo service module engine, isn't it, that we've got on the back of there. This was before we unlocked, actually, this was developed and designed before we unlocked the 4 Soviet ones that we've been using, which are a little more efficient and they don't require pressured tanks, so they're a little better for just, you know, fire and squirt and go and things like that. Right, so this one is going to arrive in a couple of days. Where are we? There we are. So we can just, can actually just warp this along, can't we? So this go along. So metal 2, what's it looking like? It again should be good. We're close. The good thing is because we're close to the sun now. Now this is the one. Do we have? Yeah, we've got Mon 10 that we don't need. Right, so stop this for a second. Let's have a think. Right. What is that engine use? I think that engine uses Mon 3. And I think that's excess. It also means we've got excess helium as well, but we can at least... Yeah, so here we go. So this is one of the ones that was just, oh, now. This is going to be a problem because we know that this thing will not have control when we first fire its engines. But that's all right. This can orientate it because we know that that should be okay. We know this version because this is the precursor to the Pathfinder B2. this is actually, you know, the first step in it, and then we modified the second stage. We know that this is going to have a problem. So we need to get rid of that Mon 10 and a little bit of MMH. I wish there was a way of doing this so that it was only control. Nope, don't want to do that. Right, so I want to get rid of the Mon 10, is it? That's Mon 3. Yeah, so we're going to get rid of the Mon 10. Mon 10, dump that, I think. That's given us a little bit of extra delta V, not much. The Mon 3 is good. The NTO is an extra bit, so that shouldn't, if that's the one that is the one that you used up most, then we don't have a problem. And equally with the helium, so it might work out for a good thing for us. We don't know. This is going to be a tight one, though. I don't think this is going to have the ability to capture, but we'll have a look. It's going to be tight. We've got 5,000 meters per second. We also have a 14-minute burn on that final engine, which is problematic at best. So this may be a flyby. We'll have a look. Let's just get it close to sphere of influence. We'll get into the sphere of influence, and then we can do our stuff and or things. Right, let's see. We're going to come in. It's going to slow down now, because of course it's going to slow down, because we have to slow down because we've got a little notification that I can't remember how to turn off. And if I just kill it before the time, it'll just recreate it. Right, off we go. So we're going to go through the sphere of influence. There we go. Right, let's have a look. We're going to focus view on Mercury. Look, how tight are you? You are not as tight as I would think you could be. That's annoying. I wonder if we could do a little bit of RCS maneuvers. Do a bit of that. What am I using as RCS on this? Ah, yeah, that might actually be a good thing. T, hold me where we are. Let's work like this. Right. So we've got these. Can I go over here and still see it? I can't. What's it? Oh, actually, I can see it on here. So there we go. We're gonna do that. Actually, would be retrograde or prograde. Either is fine, actually, isn't it? Let's put it into retrograde because we need to reorientate anyway. We have a lot here. Why is there so much here? What on earth? That's interesting. They are using it, aren't they? Let's just check. They're using helium. They're using aerosine and NTO. Ah, because it's in this tank as well. Okay. Oh no, we don't want to use it then. No, we don't want to use it. Why have I put those tanks on there when I've got it in here? That seems a little weird. Right, so we don't want to do that. Do a bit of. Can I do a bit of? Wow, that's interesting. It will not do that. That's strange. So we'll just do that. Is that gonna? Oh, let's put it on radial. Let's radial out. We were near radial out before, so this is just a complete waste of my time and effort. But I'm just thinking, the closer we can get to the surface, the more Oberth effect we get, the more chance we have of capturing with this. And I'm not sure 5,000 is enough. I think we're going to be short, but we can give it a go. We can see. Let's have a look. So let's do that. There we go. Let's take it. How low do I want to go is the question, isn't it? How low do I want to go? And the other one is 25. I don't know what the highest peak is on Mercury. Let's have a look on the map. That might be worth peaky. Let's have a... I can't see because it's on the dark side. Take it down to... I don't know. I don't know where to take it down to here. We're just putting a tiny little bit of delta V to try and save ourselves a lot of delta V. We're just bringing ourselves really close. I think 25. Take it to 25 and let's see what happens. We are going to have a problem with the burn time on that second stage. That's going to be the problem for us because that's just going to take forever. Is that the same length of time that the other one's taken? I don't know if it is. We'll have to think about it. But this second stage, we've definitely used too much of it. Right. So let's put a marker there. Let's do that. And let's just do that until we get to... It's going to be near 5,000, isn't it? So take the 5,000. There we go. So that's our second stage started. You can see, I figured this out the other day. Yeah, so these numbers are your different stages where they're going to take it to. And, okay. So potentially, if we had a perfect capture burn, that would be it. Okay. Okay, that's doable, isn't it? So let's give us 10 minutes on that one as well. Add the alarm, and then we're on to Metal 1, I suppose. Although I think these are going to get there first. You got 34 minutes actually. Whoa. Need to be aware of that. We need to jump back, don't we? So let's capture Pathfinder. Let's see how it goes. Wow, we are coming in reasonably quickly. You can actually see just how quickly we're coming in towards Mercury. Let's have a quick look. So we've got 10 science. We're going to put ourselves in retrograde, get the RCS on, because we have... Oh, we've still got the... You know what it is? We've actually got the view on thingy, so we're actually watching it spin a bit. Right, that was emphasizing a little bit of the speed, I think. Right, we can get rid of... So that's going to happen soon. We've got this about 3 hours later, and then days later we have Metal 1 coming in. So that's not even a thing. Get rid of that one. So we've got Metal 2 and Pathfinder. So these both might capture. We know Metal 1 is going to be a flyby. In fact, I'm tempted to do an impact with it because it's not going to be of much use to us. So I am tempted just to impact it in the ground. It's a pity we don't have any science down there, but you live and you learn. If these capture, we'll put Mercury 1. I think we'll skim it. We'll see how close we can get to the surface, and if it gets really close and hits the ground, then it hits the ground. Whatever. Right. So we are ready. This one should be okay. This is going to be a 6-minute burn from an 8-minute potential. We've got 10 science so far. We've got, how much data have we got? We're getting vast amounts. So we got, what's that? It doesn't even tell me how much we've got. We've got some credits there. That one, it's too much writing to say. That's got 4 credits still to send. There's a lot of data there. 7 megabytes of visible imaging. That's not telling me. That's got no data. That's got no data. So yeah, we've got a bit of data to gather here. Are we near yet? Actually, let's have a look. We're still in space high. Okay, so we'll put that there, and we'll keep an eye on it. Even if we capture this and then just leave it for a while until we get that space high science, and then we bring it back down. Mercury, are these all? These are all just high. There's no high solar wind, high. There's no specific sort of biome. Space high lowlands. Wow, so the infrared radiometer actually works biome specific in high, and that's 16 for each. Well, this thing's going to stay in high for a while, and so does that, but of course we don't have it. The image spec is not working properly. Cosmic ray science is okay. That's not specific biomes. Okay, so there's this one. See, those two together would have been beautiful. That's what, 28 science for each biome at high. What's it going to be like low? Right. Put us on the node, actually, is what I want. I don't need to be retrograde. I want to be on the node. Right, and what's that? I wonder what that is. Is that like Earth or something? Anyway, we are 36 minutes away, so we're going to just speed up until we get closer. I've given myself a good distance for this warning here, so it'll slow us down well in advance. We're getting a bit of science coming now, aren't we? Yeah, we've got 11 science now. Now remember, this is not the first flyby. We've had a craft fly past it. Was it Discovery 1? I think was Mercury, and that's the last time we were here. So that's a thing to remember. Delete on closed. Close that. Right. So this thing is ready. We're going to start the burn in a little bit. Now, while I remember, this one is the one that does this, doesn't it? Right. So this we're going to put down here. I want to actually... Do I want to burn that? No, I don't, because we have enough fuel that we can use that later on once we're captured. Let's not waste it now. Right. This should be a good one if the engines start. I do actually need to activate the engines. Let's get them all ready. It's a good point. Burn time is down to 3 minutes. Oh, because we've got lots of engines. So that's even better, actually. So it's 6 minutes. So it's nice 3 minutes there. So because I hadn't actually done that, we can now take it closer, which makes this a more efficient burn, because we want to basically drop all of our fuel at the same time. We're only about 7 tons. That's interesting. There we go. Right. We are now in the dark, on the dark side of Mercury. I actually want to come over here and I want to turn off that, because I've just realized, what's the electricity usage like? Yeah, we're going to be starting to eat electricity. So we're going to turn off all these things. Turn them all off while we're doing this. I mean, it also make, oh, temperature scan was shrouded. That's interesting. Right. We are ready. My temperature scan is shrouded. No, that can't be right. That cannot be right, because the core's there. Unless I've got a temperature sensor somewhere else, but I can't imagine I would. Right. So let's have a look. We're just in the dark. This is going to be great for you, isn't it? So there's the surface there. Right. We've got 2.5 hours until metal 2 is in range of capture, possibly. We got metal 1 is 2 days away. It's not a big problem. Right, let's just do that. Right, I need to start thinking about thrusting to control these engines a little bit. There we go. Is it going to help? Is it going to settle the fuel down? Yes, it is. And we have ignition. That's good. Why is that reading as red? That's a little concerning, because this engine has enough fuel. Why is that in red? That's very, 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 very concerning for me right now. It's saying my first stage is going to cut out here, unless it's you working off this stage for some reason. Possibly, because it hasn't staged that yet or something. That seems very odd. Right, let's have a look. We're down to 5.6, so we're going to have 1,000 left on this carrier stage, which is nice. That is enough to put us into pretty much whatever orbit we want, and then we've got all of this to play around with as well, which is nice. I like that. Good stuff. All right, we're gonna speed this up just a smidgen, because you do not need to see this burn for 4 minutes. All right, how are we doing? Looks good. Oh, we are very close to the surface right now. We're actually very, very close to the surface. Where's my periaps is still above the surface. That's good. This is coming in quite low. If this hits, we have a problem. Right, and you notice we're drifting down still. So it is as if it's counting. It is as if it's counting just that first stage burn. Yeah. No, because then it would be about 1,400, and this is gonna say 2,000. That is interesting. Right, we're at our periaps now, I think. Yeah, we are at periaps. Now we've gone past it. Okay. So now we're just capture time. Let's slow this down a bit. Slow us down a bit. Right. We are very close. We're getting a very close look there, aren't we? I wonder what delta V you need to land on Mercury. We need to have a look at that. And going to capture, and there we go. Right, something happened then. We got a spin there for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why. We lost control. We have captured. It's not where I'd like. What have we lost? We've lost connection. How have we lost connect? Because it's gone through the planet. Okay. Right, we're going to just... we're going to try and regain connection. We've got 2 hours. That's okay. Let's see, when are we going to get connection back? That's the question. We're going to have to be on the other side of the planet by quite a distance. What I do need to do is check that periaps is okay. So what we will do is we'll come out, we'll try and get connection, and then we'll bump up the periaps a little bit. We've got about 2 hours until the arrival of metal 2 for its capture, and then 2 days for metal 1, so that's not a big issue. Have we got it? Have we got this? Right, there we go. Do that, kill that. We burned the engines over because I couldn't see what was going on properly. We have completed the Mercury orbit. That's great. It's 1.4 million. That is beautiful, but more important, well, I say more importantly, not more importantly, we can now do this. And there we go. Do that, do that, do that. So we've got all of this stuff running. So this needs a higher inclination. This, yeah, and that is shrouded as well. Wow. So we really need to redesign these actually. And we've got some that are being built already, haven't we? Oh dear. Well, we can at least we could probably modify them actually. So we need to make sure that's not shrouded. The temperature is now waiting, but it said before it was shrouded. It would be really good if it didn't do that, is what I'm actually thinking. Right, when's this going to be? This is in 20 hours. So I'm going to add a maneuver, just plop it there, and then I'm going to add this in. Give me a 10-minute warning. Add that alarm. Good. So the reason I've done that, it's not actually a maneuver, but what we want to do is we want to slow the spin down and maybe think about just raising that just a smidgen. Because if we try and bring our orbit down anymore at other times, it might be a bit of a problem. But we're going to just let this thing, we're going to stop the spin first and then deal with it. Right. Over to Metal 2. Let's see how this one goes. So that's one mission completed. Mercury has gone on orbital craft around it, which is really good. One of the big annoyances about the fact that we've actually lost some of the equipment there is that we have it on the other craft. So it's extra, and well, the big annoyance is it's extra weight. That really annoys me. You know what, we could actually just turn this. Why have we stopped this? Just turn it on. Get it all turned on. There we go. Just turn it all on. Now this one, it's working. Why are you different? So if we moved them in the designs, so where is the image spectroscopy? Where are you? Let's have a look. I can't see it. Image spec, infrared's in there. Well, temperature, is temperature running? Temperature is waiting. See, temperature, where is the temperature scan? Where are you? It won't show me. Where is the temperature scan? Are you on here maybe? No, you're not. So it must be somewhere in here. Is it? No, it says it's in the main body of it. Okay. Where's the science for here? It's not showing me. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Science, there we are. Telemetry, infrared, mass spec, imaging. Ah, now. Which was the one that was it infrared? No. Imaging, cosmic, no. Have we rearranged them in this compared to the others? What's that? Ah, there's the thermometer. That's why we've got the thermometer in there, and it's not gonna read, is it? And then we've got the barometer there. So the thermometer actually needs to be on the outside. What we should really do is, in future, lift this whole thing up, or have the thermometer and everything on the end of here, or have it somewhere else. The problem is counterbalancing it. I suppose the thermometer and the barometer actually do counterbalance each other. Anyway, let's have a look. We think we might be able to capture with this, but it's going to be tight. It's also going to take a long time, and it's going to use a lot of that, and that is my concern. So do we go in close, kill as much as we can quickly with this, and then just hope? I mean, burn time is 14 minutes, but the majority of that burn straight away is going to put us past it. So it's an uneven burn time. So you can see that first stage is 370. It's going to take it to there. We're just going to have that final 1000 off this. And that's going to be about 8-9 minutes. But we're already curving at that point. So do we get closer, use this at optimal? So if we started burning this with 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes until node, then use this, maybe that puts us a little bit closer. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I think that's what I want to do. We are low, and the last one was very low. So the other problem is if I burn this early, we could hit the ground because we will drop our periapts like a stone if I'm not careful. So let's see how it goes. Start burn, then node in that time. So the distance is only 2 minutes. That is interesting. I think it's actually planning to have us burn. Yeah, close to, because it only seems to be, what, 2 minutes difference, which is that first stage. I suppose it's about where you're balancing the time and everything, isn't it? All right, we're going to stop it soon. In fact, we'll let the timer stop it, then we can orientate it based on the timer, and then we'll come in and just do it. Yeah, I think that's it. Right. Where's Mercury? Where are you? You're around here somewhere because we're heading straight at you. There you are. Thank you. Of course, we're coming around the back end of Mercury again, which is, of course, the way we do it. We've got to do that, haven't we? Let me just check. We haven't got 2 maneuver nodes now, have we? No, I don't think we do, because sometimes that is a risk when you just click the wrong button. Right, I want to put this in on node. There we go. It's going to turn it round. I don't want my periapts to drop because that would be problematic. So we've got to start burning in 8 minutes. The node is 9:30, so we're looking at 1:30. Okay, let's go with what the stock sort of system says. Then this is going to be a big waste of stuff because we're going to be burning non-perfect, but this will be beautifully good. And this is going to slow us down significantly. You know, we're going to be going a lot slower, so I think I'm okay with it. Right, so 7 minutes from burn time. Remember, we have to ullage first, but we're going to try and keep that to the minimum. So we're going to wait until about a minute away from burn start, and then we'll start thinking about this. This is the nervy one. If we can get 2 into orbit, I will be very, very happy. I don't think we're going to manage it. I don't think that. Now, the interesting thing is this was not the optimal window. So if we've got the Pathfinder in, we're going to send something else with the improved tech. We could actually strip out some of the other experiments from Pathfinder and just put those extra ones on, which would probably be a better idea. If we've got a mission that's just, you know, orbital science, we'll do that. Right. So we're now coming in. We've got 50 odd seconds. How soon do I want to start balancing the fuel out? Let's do a little bit of thrusting. Let's do a little bit of thrusting. We've got 47 seconds. There we go. Right, the fuel is now balanced. Right, we've got 5,000 meters per second in the tank. We've got 4,864 meters per second required. If we have bad residuals, this ain't going to work. If we have an engine fail, this ain't going to work. In fact, there's a lot of things that have to go right for this to work, including me not wasting fuel doing this repeatedly. Just do that. Right. Are we ready? I think we are. Do I go a little early? Yes, I think I do. There we go. Right, we're good. We're on. We're holding on the node. And this first stage is going to be the big one. This is a lot of power. Well, it's not a lot of power, actually. The other stuff we brought her is actually better. It's 1 minute and 50 seconds. What's it doing to our orbit is what I want to know. Yeah, we're definitely, the orbit is, so that's our route that we came in. We're definitely curving. That's positive. What's it doing to all of our orbits? Yeah, they are going to do stuff. Right. Okie doke. We are good. We've got 3,000 to go. Oh, we can see the Mercuries. Right, let's have a look. So temperature sensor is not working either. So we need to send a new temperature sensor. Let's write it down. So we need temp. What else have we got? That's nothing. We've got everything else working, which is really good. So there we go. I think that's good. I think it's good. Our burn time is flashing in the red now and again. And I don't know if that means don't be silly, you're about to die, or not. Now we are getting a little tight to the surface. I'm not sure how high up is it. It's 33. We're at 39. So it's about what, 6-7 kilometers up the surface right now, and we look as though we're in a valley actually. It does look like a valley actually. Oh yeah. So I'd really like it if we didn't get that close. Yeah, okay. There's probably about 6 kilometers up this area. As long as we don't hit anything, we're okay. Well, I say as long as we don't hit anything, we've got to do other stuff. Right. Is this going to be completely exhausted by the time we finish is the question that I want to see. Right, let's pop that to there actually. How much fuel we got left? Is it going to eat this? It should eat this. Is it going to eat it? We've got no signal. Can I fire the RCS when we have no signal is the question. I should be able to. Oh, this is annoying because there's fuel in those tanks. There is fuel in those tanks. You know what? I wonder if I can restart this. Do that. I shouldn't have had the little tanks. It's just annoying, isn't it? And then I want the big one. So then we do in. We don't have fuel transfer. We're 200 short on that stage. I don't think we can do this. I don't think we have the ability to do this. Fire it. Fire it, fire it, fire it, fire it. Get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. That's annoying. We'd have been better off without those little tanks on the bottom. They were just basically in the end, they ended up being dead weight. We have failed. We have failed. This thing ain't getting to orbit. Damn it. Okay. I suppose we can speed this up now while it fires its engine, but we know that it's not getting to orbit. Oh, hold on a second. What on earth is that wobble? That's an interesting structural situation we've got going on there. All right. I'm going to turn the RCS off. We'll turn it on randomly as we need it, but I don't think we're going to capture. So are we gathering? I suppose we're gathering science anyway. That's fine. So what have we learned? We have learned that the positioning on this craft was okay for some of this tech, but some of it wasn't. So this is okay in there like that. Why is that okay? Is it slightly further down? That's very odd. It's almost like, yeah, so that's running. So it's actually able to get it. The image spectroscopy 2 is fine there. That's running. Is there something? Ah, now. Has this tank been clipped or something? It looks like that might be it. So there's a little glitch. But what we have learned is we need to put our experiments in the right place, is what we've learned. This is going to be annoying. There we go. Just get that onto there. Right. Turn the RCS off and give me a bit more speed. There we go. Because we've got 11 minutes of this, and you do not need to watch it. Pretty much don't need to watch it. Just do that. This is problematic actually. So there's a design flaw there with my little RCS thrusters on the outside. Yeah, how short am I going to be? It's going to be tight. To be fair, if this can be further away than this, we've got it. But I don't think we can. I think we're going to miss it. I think it's a fail. Yeah. And of course we don't have, yeah, look, we're flying well away. So we left about 200 meters per second of delta V in that stage. There was too many residuals. We had those little extra tanks. We might as well just merge those in the end. They were obviously remnants of a different design that I just didn't think about. We had the extra tanks at the bottom. Those, we would have been better off just using the main tank and having one single tank there, because those fuels at the bottom there we just weren't eating. We just weren't using. So, yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? Bit of a bad idea. We also couldn't transfer the fuels. Is that because we were under thrust? I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I will speedy weedy timey wimey. I'll see you when this engine's about to cut out. Right, we are into the last about 50 seconds of burning on this engine, and you can see I've got this up because you can actually see its escape time is dropping here. But the other problem is we are now going to hit the planet if we do actually capture, because we're going to run out of fuel before we do that, and and our periapsis is going to get really close. If we did capture, we could use probably a little bit of residual RCS just to pull it up, but there we go. The engine has gone. We are out. We have pretty much no chance of capturing, so we're going to turn the RCS off. We're going to shut everything down. Hello. Just well, we don't have signal, so we're going to do that. We're going to do that. There we go. Right. So this thing is going to be leaving the sphere of influence of Mercury, but it's gathering some data for us anyway. So we've got some close flyby data, which is a positive. Of course, we can't get it yet because it's still got a bit of a blackout. There we are. So we can see all the data that it's got. It's already got like 4 science, which is nice. We can close this down. So we were 500 short, which is not good, in part because we were burning non-optimally, and in part because, oh, to put it simply, yeah, we forgot about residuals. That's the real problem here. So what we can say though is the actual positioning of its equipment was better, and I cannot understand why, because it's all in that gap there. Is it there's a part of it showing somewhere? I wonder if it is. I wonder if there's so thermometer and everything seems to be working. Let's just do we actually have that auto? Right, so we don't know about the temperature and the pressure. We're not know about that. But the other stuff in the middle there is working. So micrometeorite detector is picking up. We've got that's fine. That's what's that? That's in there somewhere, and that is running the image spectroscopy. So this would be the one that if we wanted captured would be ideal. So yeah, we'll have to think about that. Has it got extra mass on? It's got Mon 10 that we've used. MMH has not been used, interestingly. Are we completely... So did we completely just use everything? Yeah, we ran out of Mon 10, so we don't actually have... We've got a bit of Mon 3 somewhere. Oh, we emptied the Mon 10, that's right. Silly me. Mon 3 we got a bit of. So we could still orientate the craft if we need to. But yeah, this thing is basically going to be flying around the sun. It might encounter in the future, but I don't imagine it will. So this thing is just going to head off. What's that there? That is metal 1 coming in. So we'll fly this out of the sphere of influence, let it do all of its science transmitting and stuff like that. It's got everything enabled, so it should be going okay. It's got decent sunlight, so it's just going to basically do its thing and stuff and things now. So we'll see, head out, and then we're going to have a look at, I think, yeah, we're going to be looking at metal. This is the metal 2 leaving, so we'll be looking back at Pathfinder. We'll do a quick maneuver there. So I shall see you back at Pathfinder, and then we'll finish off with metal 1. Before we jump back to Pathfinder around Mercury, one positive of this is that we do actually have equipment that we can actually get some data from. So you can see here, we can still get some data for micrometeorite detectors. We can get a little bit from image spectroscopy. That's going to run for 31 days. We have got this stuff. Now, they could have done this on the way there, but we had them disabled. So one of the positives is we can actually get this. We don't have orbital perturbation data, but you know what? We can still get some more data out of this craft. So far, it's transmitting a lot of data, but we've got 21 science. For a flyby that was failed. That's not terrible. So let's go sort Pathfinder out. So we are with Pathfinder, which is spinning crazy as it was before. We're gonna run forward in time until I get to the point where we can do stuff with it. There we go. It's transmitted 32 science. That's lovely. So the positive about this is that, yeah, that's the crazy going crazy. What we can actually do is when it gets to the top there, we can actually we can pull this up a little bit, and we can stop our spin, is what I'm actually hoping to do. It's annoying that the engines have actually done that. We've got obviously some sort of unequal sort of shutdown, and I've seen this before. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm gonna delete that, close that. Orbital, let's put us in retrograde. Let's turn that on. There we go. And let it slow itself down a bit. Let it slow that spin down. There we go. Is it going to do it? It should do it quite easily because there's a distinct lack of mass on this. The big problem we have is that all the mass is now at one end. I mean, okay, those engines, I suppose, probably counteract the probe a little bit. We've still got around 1,000 meters per second. Well, 900 meters per second in that penultimate stage. So we've got a lot of opportunity to do stuff here that we'll need to think about. Right. Are we good? Right. Just going to bring it in now, isn't it? What we do need to do is make sure that I get rid of this node. There we go. We actually need to bring up the periaps. We want to bring it back up to, let's bring it to 35 just to be safe. There we go. So this is now set. We'll just have a look what data we've got. It's good. Is it actually keeping itself fully functional? Yes, it is. We've got Montaigne. We've got that there. So we've got enough on this to do quite a bit of interesting science. I don't think we have enough to land. I mean, there's a possibility, I think. What do you need to land on Mercury? 3,000. You need 3,000. We don't have 3,000, so this is not going to land. That's fine. That's not a problem. But what it does mean is potentially something like this, if we just beefed it up a bit on all the stages, could potentially land. The final engine burn time I'm not happy with, because I think that would be far too much for landing. But yeah, we could definitely go for a land. We could even go for like a suicide landing without this on, just use something like that. Right. Let's go and have a look at Metal 1, because that's going to be a little interesting one to finish up with. And we'll leave this thing doing science, because, you know, it's got all the science to do now because it's there on its own, even if it doesn't have the ability to do micrometeorite, an image spec, and other stuff. So, yeah, so we've got image. I'm going to write this down. So I'll write this down, and then I shall see you with Metal 1. Here we are with Metal 1. Metal 1 is an interesting one because although it's got 6,200 meters per second, it's going to take a long time to actually release any of that because this engine is not particularly good. It was not very well designed, and yes, there were comments about the fact that the burn time on this engine would mean that it's not particularly good. But it was a concept idea, okay? Just let it happen. Let it occur. So, is that actually running? Okay. Strange. We do again have shrouded. Now this is maybe where it comes from. So this is obviously how it was one of the precursors for this. So we've got a shrouded of that and a shrouded of that. So there's something different with Metal 2 compared to the other craft. That just means that it's working with Metal 2. So discovery of Saturn is, it's got a solar storm, and so is the one on the way to Neptune. Okay, I do notice the probe there, metal. We can get rid of that. Stay here. Stay here. We need to get rid of some of these things. Do that. Just get rid of it. I don't need the Metal 2 probe. That's the body bit. Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Right. So is that the probe? Is that probe as well? It doesn't say. What have we got on board? Oh, B2 Sol. Oh, that's the right. There's two of those in there. That's the test. That's that. Right. Metal 1. There we are. What has Metal 1 done for us? Metal 1's gathered 55 science while it's been doing stuff. Obviously, flying through past the sun is good. Yeah. So what we're going to do is, instead of trying to capture with this, we're going to try and put it into another encounter. So we're going to put this. We've got this maneuver. And this should mean that it will come out, do a loop, and then come back. And it will then hopefully, ideally, it will be doing a bit better. So you can see at the moment, this is our orbit. It's quite a high orbit like that. Hopefully after this encounter, it's going to be sort of brought down. I don't know what it's going to do, but we're gonna see. So. Yeah, how high is it at the moment? Actually, you know what? Earth is 150. Where's that? It's actually going to gain altitude. That's not what I would. Oh no, that's before the maneuver. Yeah, so after the maneuver, it will be significantly lower. I think. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Right. So we're gonna warp in, do this, and see how it goes. So we are getting a lot of science data coming in from low space now from from the Pathfinder craft. What I will do is I'll actually rename Pathfinder at some point, give it its correct name instead of just the Pathfinder, because like the Russians, we're not going to name these things until they actually succeed, some of them. Right, how are we? That's my maneuver. We're going to arrive somewhere at some point. I don't actually know where we're going. That's my maneuver there. Where's Mercury? There we go. Focus view. Right, where is my maneuver? Oh, it's there. Ah, because we're going to put it on the other side. That's what I was going to do. Right, okay. So my maneuver is in 11 minutes. Let's bring us into time for that. It's going to be a 6-minute burn. That's a little tasty, but then we come in again at the second time. It should bring us down. And what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to keep my interactions here. We could do a little burn at apoapsis, but let's see what happens. Let's get this one first, and then we'll decide upon it. In fact, you know what? We're going to get it automated. Maneuver planner, come involved, because I've chosen it. Let's organize the next mode. Now the problem is we're burning. We're 6 minutes away, so that's not a big issue. We are in the sphere of influence, aren't we? No, we're not. We are new on there because the encounter it's right after sphere of influence change, isn't it? Yeah. So that's in 9 minutes. We're going to start the burn before we have the encounter. Oh, I may have done this a bit too cheeky, actually. So we're going to enter the encounter as we're doing the burn. That might get interesting. Okay, let's see how that goes. So it's 6-minute burn. You can see we don't have anything about encounters now. We're within the counter range, the encounter with the sphere of influence, but we're not actually in the sphere of influence yet. Yeah, this is something I haven't done before. Now this is interesting. So are we actually changing stuff? We are changing stuff, but we're probably burning at the wrong time. Abort node execution. I think we need to be in the sphere of influence first. Yeah, I think we need to get into the sphere of influence. So let's get into the sphere of influence. There we go. And then let's just execute the next node. There we go. Right, we're now in the sphere of influence, so let's get this node done. This should be more logical now. Come on, let's get it happening. Why is it not? Come on. We are wasting time, people. Wow, MechJeb really does, when you go to RP-1, it really does take its time, doesn't it? It really does. Wow. Let's speedy this up a bit. Let's see if it does it. So it should be firing its engine at any moment. There we go. Wonderful. Perfect. There we go. Right. So let's see what that does. And what we're trying to do is trying to get a second flyby. We want to be on this side. So if I zoom out, we can actually see by having this flyby, it should pull our apoapsis down like this. By repositioning us. Just using a little bit of our fuel. I don't know if it's a big bonus or not. And then we could try and see if we put another burn at the periaps there and what we can do with it. I'm concerned about how quickly we're going to get to the periaps though. Oh, there we go. Metal's going to leave in 5 hours. Okay. So there we go. We're coming round. Okay. We are changing it a bit, aren't we? It's just taking a lot of effort. What are we doing? So we're doing like we're doing a normal burn, are we? That is a very odd thing to do. So I set this up at the end of the departure burns for these craft, and then I stepped away for a week and just went, you know what, to go with what you're doing. But I'm like, why am I going up there? Why don't I just do a radial? Like if I burn that way, surely that would do it, because we seem to be pretty equatorial right now. So next episode, we will try and get a second encounter. This is not what we should have had after all those flybys and calculations that have been done, but you saw off screen. and we'll see what's going on. So I'm going to stop for now, and until next time, have a great one.